And something I told you, I warned you about in advance yesterday.
Uh-oh.
I wanted to ask you about is you have obviously been to. Okay, let's say it again. How many stadiums? 100 and.
It's 160. I sent you the list this morning.
Yes.
164, 165.
How is that
like
possible?
That. It's a lot of stadiums.
It's a lot. It's a lot of stadiums.
It is a lot of stadiums. Yeah.
So. I did not have time to put the pictures up, but I'm sure everyone here will be able to look them up on TexasBob.com.
Texas Bob, yeah.
Good. Here, let me show the book.
All right, yep.
Our good friend Robert McStadden.
It's right here too.
Yeah,
look at that.
Here we go. Yeah,
Dual advertising there.
Oh yeah, I gotta have it on the shelf. Go to TexasBob.com if you want to find that stuff, because he has literally everything on all.
It's awesome.
On
His
the
website
stadiums.
is tremendous.
It's
I love
a treasure. Are you disappointed at all that the hee-haw is gone at the beginning now? Used to be you'd be in the press box. You're like, oh, I'm going to look up the stadium information in this quiet press box. Then you'd get the,
yeah. I've done it at work, and that's even more
better.
awkward. Yeah, it's like no one knows now everyone knows I'm not doing work. Right. I'm looking up stadiums at work. So yeah.
So the question, Matt Stepp, is what are your top 5 stadiums in the state of Texas?
Well, I cheated, Maximus.
Oh.
Because I think stadiums we have to classify them into 2 categories.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
We have your classics and your newer stadiums. Both great in their own right, but you can't compare the 2.
You can't compare them. This is a fair point. You really
it's hard to
cannot
compare
them.
one of your newer stadiums to your classic stadiums. So
this is fair.
All right, so I'm going to do 2 separate top 5 lists. We'll start with the newer stadiums.
Okay.
Then I'm interested in hearing maybe a few of your favorites.
Okay.
So,
I've got a few.
For the newer stadiums, we'll go 5 to 1. Number 5, Grande Communication Stadium in Midland.
Okay. It's a classic.
It's
become a hub out there.
It's very much a hub. It's all the amenities. It's a really nice design. It's kind of it's next to the minor league ballpark. It's kind of a cool, unique stadium design. So I like Grande.
Sure.
Number 4, the Barry. I think it's called Cy-Fair FCU Stadium.
Yeah, they
now.
changed
the Barry
it, right?
Center.
It's the Barry Center.
To me, it's always the Barry Center.
What I like about the design of the Barry Center is it's
incredibly visually pleasing.
It's a classic look in a modern building.
Yes.
It's pretty cool. And the way that it's kind of closed off from everything else, right? You feel like you're inside.
Yeah, you have the
bowl,
arena
basically.
in the one end. It's really a great design.
It's pretty cool.
And they Cy-Fair ISD with Pridgeon Stadium with their remodel.
Okay.
Took a lot of the same design
like
from Barry Center
from it. Yeah.
And built it into Pridgeon Stadium, which is very nice as well. Number 3, and this is the kind of the first new stadium that kind of set the trend for all the other new stadiums that have come along. Waco ISD Stadium.
Sure, it's a good stadium.
All the other new stadiums really took a lot of the design cues from Waco ISD Stadium. It's kind of the originator. So
sure.
I love the slant, the hills they have where you walk down the ramp to the stadium. It's a there's not a bad seat in that place. It feels intimate. It's a big stadium, but it feels fairly intimate. Parking in and out's awesome as well, which is kind of good as well if you have big games. So definitely like Waco ISD Stadium. Number 2, a brand new stadium I went to for the first time this year is down in Clear Lake, Challenger Columbia Stadium.
Yes, you were telling. So when I was trying to come up with a game to go to in Houston, I settled on during the playoffs. I settled on the Woodlands Mesquite Horn, and you're like, one of the other games was Dickinson A-Leaf Taylor.
Yeah.
And that was on Saturday night, and I couldn't go, and it was at Challenger Columbia Stadium, and you went, oh, you're missing out.
Yeah, it's a great stadium.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Great video board, awesome video board.
Yeah.
Really cool design that they incorporated some of the monuments to the NASA astronauts who passed away. Right on I-45 there, in and out quick. Really, really nice stadium. Great press box. Really nice. Really fast Wi-Fi, which we like that. So
yeah. Well, you would hope so in a newer stadium, right?
We're fans of the fast Wi-Fi. Yeah. So, and number 1 for me, it's kind of a homer pick. I love Newsom Stadium in Mansfield. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous stadium.
It's great. Yeah.
A lot of the design from Newsom they actually took from the Palace in Round Rock.
That's not surprising.
Yes, it took a lot of design, a lot of design cues.
When you walk through the press box there, it feels exactly the same.
And if you notice, the visitor bleachers are they have that curve a little bit to kind of close in a little of the noise. So
the other thing that's underrated about that stadium, the view.
Oh yeah,
like it's rolling hills.
Yeah, because you can see out towards Cedar Hill and Joe Pool Lake is really nice.
It's gorgeous.
Now, my classics, and this was tough because there's a lot of great classic stadiums.
There are.
Farrington Field in Fort Worth just missed the cut. But for a view of Farrington, if you've ever been to Farrington Field in the press box, you have a perfect view of downtown Fort Worth.
Nice.
Really nice. For my classics, number 5, Shirley Field in Laredo.
Oh, interesting.
This place is one of the oldest stadiums in the state. It's literally, you can see Mexico from the press box. It's like a mile from the checkpoint.
Right.
But it's built into old Laredo Martin High School, and it's a lot of the old buildings are kind of, it's really closed in. The old buildings are kind of built around. They basically just fit a stadium where they could.
Right.
But they've completely remodeled it. It's really nice, and I'm a fan. You'll see this in my trending here. I'm a fan of older stadiums that get nice remodels, but they still retain the charm and character of the original place. So Shirley Field, Laredo ISD did a great job with that place. Number 4, it's not quite. It's close to not being a classic. It's kind of in that middle realm.
Right.
Lobo Stadium in Longview.
Sure.
It was built in 1977.
Are you sure you're not being swayed by the popcorn?
Popcorn's a player, but the Lobo Stadium in Longview, built into a bowl.
Yeah.
The pine trees all around
Right.
it. Really, really just classic East Texas.
Yes.
I mean, when I think of East Texas, that's Lobo Stadium is one of the first places that comes to mind. The press box is actually a additional wing of the school. The press box is part of the school, basically.
Right.
You're walking through the press box and you're walking by classrooms. And the view is great. It's built into the bowl, so the noise when it gets a big crowd, it gets to be loud and really intimidating atmosphere. So, really like Lobo Stadium in Longview. Really, I mean, almost a perfect design of a stadium. They made perfect use of the space there at Longview High School. Number 3 is Alamo Stadium in San Antonio.
Classic.
Again,
the giant.
another. It's a huge stadium. But they did a great job with the remodel. It's really nice and modern now, but they retained all the charm of the old Alamo Stadium.
The colorful seats, the classic look.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and you get a great view of downtown San Antonio from there. It's really, really pretty. Number 2, you've been here. You went here this year for the first time. The Mustang Bowl in Sweetwater.
How could it not be on your list, right?
That place.
The place is unreal.
Yeah, I mean you have to see it to believe it.
I'd love to see it packed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I've been to a couple of playoff games there when it's gotten pretty crowded.
Yeah.
I know, obviously with Sweetwater's success this year, I'm pretty sure they packed it out on the home side.
I'm sure.
But you can get games where it's packed, where there's fans sitting in the concrete embankments along both end zones.
That's
really,
awesome.
Really, really cool stadium. Really unique for a small place like Sweetwater to have such an awesome facility like that.
The other thing that you can look at pictures, and that's one thing. What goes underrated, and Greg pointed this out when we were there, the details. There are hoof prints, horseshoe prints in the cement that they put in around the stadium. Like, just little stuff like that is amazing.
It adds character to the place.
It's so cool.
Yep. And number 1, this is no surprise, Jones Stadium in El Paso.
Good Lord.
And this is, if you are a high school football fan and you want to see the most awesome stadium in the state of Texas, I know El Paso is a long trip and it's hard for a lot of people to get to. But if you can get there, do it. It is the most unique and awesome stadium we have in our great state. It was built in 1912. First stadium to have Friday night lights were actually invented there. They actually were the first stadium to put lights in.
Okay.
It's built into El Paso High. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous old school. Just everything you'd ever want in a classic stadium. Jones Stadium in El Paso, by far my favorite stadium in the state of Texas.
That's a good list. So.